Good morning, everyone. Good morning, friends. Good morning, colleagues. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Thank you so much. I can see already a lot of familiar faces in here. When we met in person, we could have some coffee together before we start officially our summit. Today we are online, but before I officially start, I would like to really hear from some of you. Where are you coming from? Which country are you in right now? We'll be starting in the next 2 or 3 minutes, and officially we will launch our summit. But it is a great pleasure to have all of you with us again, and welcome. I can see my friend. I met him, Mr. Rodwell. Are you here, Mr. Rodwell? So good to see you again.
Here. I am here. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, very, very clearly. We can hear you.
So how are you? Very well, thank you. So just so you don't know, my name is Rodwell van Beek. I represent an organization called the QP Global Group. Our head offices are here based in Portugal, but we actually have a office and a manufacturing facility in South Africa, and also a manufacturing facility in China. We've just recently rebranded the South African company to be called QP Global Africa, which is more encompassing and takes our commitment to what we want to do to the African Free Trade Agreement to another level. So the group is now called the QP Global. So we involve specifically in the automotive sector, specifically injection molding tooling, or in any projects that are automotive related. So it doesn't matter which one of the 55 countries we're dealing with, we have the support.
Wow, that's a great introduction. Again, it is a pleasure to meet you. I wish we could have a handshake today, but it's different. It's virtual, but technologies allows us to still meet. So it's a great thing that we're able to see each other, although not face to face. But today is very exciting because it took us a lot of time, a lot of efforts to bring leaders across the world, across different continents, but specifically from Africa. I'm myself an African. I was born in Mauritius, and I am established in South Africa. So that is the reason. I love you, Mr. Rodwell. I'll miss you back in South Africa here. Hopefully we meet again soon. So I am African myself. Today is all about the opportunities that this great continent has for everyone. So without any further ado, I want to officially start this summit, our virtual investors summit. If you've been with us for a while, you know we've been in Malaysia, we've been in Canada, we've been in Lisbon, we've been in different cities in the world doing this in person, but also we have been holding this summit virtually. So today, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good morning, bonjour, bon dia. Welcome to our virtual investors summit, a place where the world's greatest transactions and opportunities happen. I am Mr. Avi, Vice President of Business Development for Business Summit, and I will be here today with, it is an immense honor to have all the global business leaders, investors, and ambassadors here with us today. So please give yourself a clap of hands. We really appreciate each presence here with us today. Our strength, we act as a facilitator or even as an investor. The blueprint of this virtual summit today is very simple. It is to bring history makers, world shapers, business tycoons, and exquisite global business leaders together. So as I always say, the opportunity of a lifetime must be seized in the lifetime of the opportunity. So if you are here today and you have any question, you are welcome to raise your hand and ask the question. If you're here today and you feel there's an opportunity, you're welcome to write on the chat or even connect with one of our team members, and we will gladly assist you with everything that we have that we can. Without any further ado, I can see people are still joining. The numbers are increasing significantly. Let me welcome our President and Chairman for Business Summit, Dr. Haider Uzzaman. Good morning, Dr. Haider. Are you here today? Are you here already?
Hi, good morning, good morning. Good morning, how are you?
I am very well, thank you. It is good to see you again.
Great, thank you so much. I'm so glad to meet my friends here. I welcome excellencies, dignitaries, friends, partners from all around the world. With your support, we have been growing and growing only. And we are so glad that you are here today. Thanks for creating the time on a Saturday. And it's basically, you know, a person, a friend of mine was telling me, please remind me before 10 minutes. I said, business is not about reminding. You know, if I have to remind for your business, then I'm doing a wrong job. You should be reminding me that what time is the, has the Zoom started already 10 minutes before? That's how it should be. Not that we remind you and bring you here. We can facilitate, as Mr. Abhishek was telling, we are facilitator. For sure, we'll facilitate you to do your business. Well, today's topic is the opportunities in Africa, business and investment opportunities in Africa. We have been promoting Africa for a long time already. And for me personally, I think I have traveled more than 42 countries, as I mentioned earlier, that not many African presidents even traveled so many countries. Even the longest staying president like President Gaddafi, Hosni Mubarak, Ali Bongo, I don't think that they have traveled so many countries, either even Robert Mugabe. Well, given the fact that I am an African lover and of course would like to see a prosperous and a developed Africa with your all the resources that you have in different countries, that amounts to 35% of the global resources, mineral resources alone in Africa preserved, and the whole world, all the other continents combined, they own 65%. So imagine the significance of your resources. Well, with this, Africa is still struggling. Africa is still having problems. Africa is still having development issues. Africa is still having different problems, fighting with diseases and all those, poverty, food security, and all those. Well, we need to help Africa. We need to real-time help. It's not that we go and grab some resources from Africa and take away and go. That's what most of the people do. And that is what I don't do. That is what we don't suggest people to do. We want others to go there, study, read people, mix up with people, and then do business, invest money for their well-being and also for the interest of the investors. For sure, we all go for profit and benefit, but at the same time, we need to look after the friends, brothers and sisters in Africa, for sure. That's the first priority. Then definitely, once you build their luck, your luck or our luck is built automatically. So that's how it is, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, today we have a number of speakers. His Excellency Belet Mullah from Ethiopia, and I was told a few minutes before that he is still attending a meeting, and his State Minister, Excellency Dr. Yashun, will be joining. His Excellency Mamri Njai right now is traveling to Europe. However, he said that he will join even from the car. Her Excellency Ambassador of South Africa, one of the outstanding personality I have ever seen, so eager, so keen to promote her country so much globally, so much in her territory of Portugal and other countries that she's actually dated, and globally. She's really keen. I must say I respect you a lot, sister. And she's here already. I was told that she's here, and I can see the minister is joining. So once they're all here, one of my friend, His Excellency Dr. Gonzalo Terenas, one of the profound business leader in Portugal, and a global personality, having a lot of experience in Africa, is here as a speaker today. He will discuss on his experience and knowledge, and also he has some options that are available, business options that are available for the affluent African leaders and business leaders. Well, we have Her Excellency Laila Al-Ethfani. She's promoting African female entrepreneur and business women globally, especially in the Middle East. She has been playing a significant role. An outstanding female entrepreneur. We have His Excellency Molise Siole, one of the outstanding personality and also former minister and former current High Commissioner of Lesotho, the Kingdom of Lesotho, to Canada and 17 other countries. We will not have Professor Ahmed bin Salahuddin. His professor is a outstanding African. He's a British citizen though, but living in Dubai, doing business all over Africa and globally. He's traveling from Indonesia and his flight has been delayed. He just messaged me 2 hours before that he will be in flight. So we'll be missing him. Well, we have our good friend and my longtime friend, His Excellency Professor Muhammad Sardar. He's a macroeconomist and a specialist on central bank and regulatory affairs in developing countries, and have played significant role in increasing economic activities in developing countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and many others. We have our good friend, Patience from Bielsa State. We just met last week in week 10 days back, I think, in Lisbon. It was a great opportunity to meet her and discuss about the business opportunities in Nigeria and in Bielsa especially. Bielsa is the wildest country, state of Nigeria. And Ms. Patience will be unveiling the opportunities, because Bielsa, I had been there. I went for 2 days and I spent 7 days with the invitation from the former governor. And it was an exceptional experience. I will tell you later, and let us hear today from our friend. And then we have His Excellency Imam Jaite, Ambassador at Large to the President of the Gambia. And with this, let us start our program today. And if you have, audience, if you have questions, please raise your hand and we will let you ask question. But once the EC speaker has finished their presentation. So with this, I think we'll start with His Excellency, the Minister of State of Innovation, Federal Government of Ethiopia, Dr. Yeshun. Doctor, if you are here, please proceed on with your presentation, with your speech, please. What you have today from you to offer to the world. Here you will find we have right now 67 participants from all around the world, every corner of the world. All the continents are covered here. So the investors, business owners, they're eagerly waiting to hear from all of you today. on the opportunity. So let us be more particular and specific what opportunity you have in Ethiopia, what opportunity you have in other countries, what opportunity you have in Africa in general. So we look forward to hear from His Excellency Dr. Yashun, State Minister of Innovation, Ethiopia. Welcome. Lima, can you
Very much.
let her
Thank you very
speak?
much.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm very happy to join this webinar to show our Ethiopia's the opportunities within Ethiopia for investors that are working in the ICT sector. So Ethiopia is it is a rapidly growing, presenting a wealth of business opportunities across various segments. So the country's young, tech-savvy population, coupled with government initiatives, promote digitalization, is driving this boom. So here I want to raise about in short. So the first one is telecommunication. In telecommunication, we have we can see mobile penetration, broadband expansion, 5G that are favorable for businesses. So Ethiopia has a high mobile penetration rate, so offering a vast potential mobile-based services like mobile bank, mobile money, and mobile e-commerce, mobile commerces. In broadband expansion, government's efforts to expand the broadband access, including fiber optic cables and satellite internet, are creating opportunities for internet service providers and related businesses. So in the 5G deployment, we have recently introduced the 5G network. So the rollout of 5G network is expected to open new avenues for advanced mobile services, IT applications, and smart city development. The second one is software development and IT services are also opportunities. Here there is a growing demand. So the bargaining digital sector fuels a strong demand for software developers, IT consultants, and data analysts. Also, the other is government's initiative. Ethiopia is promoting local software development through initiatives like Made in Ethiopia campaign, that creating opportunities for local IT companies that are working with investors from abroad also, of course. The other one is outsourcing hub. So with a skilled workforce and competitive costs, Ethiopia has the potential to become a regional hub for software development and IT services. The e-commerce and digital payments. Ethiopia's e-commerce sector is rapidly growing with increasing online shopping and digital payments. And also the other one is mobile money. The mobile money platforms like M-Pesa and Telebra are widely used, creating opportunities for e-commerce platforms and digital payment gateways. In logistics and the delivery case, the expansion of e-commerce that requires robust logistics and delivery services, presenting opportunities for logistic companies and delivery providers. Regarding the fintechs and the financial services, financial inclusion is one. The other one is digital banking and insurance tech. So Ethiopia is focusing on increasing financial inclusion through innovative financial services, particularly in rural areas. In mobile banking, digital wallets, and microfinance platforms are experiencing rapid adoption. And there are opportunities exist for digital insurance platforms, online insurance brokers, and also innovating insurance solutions. Regarding the education and training, Ethiopia needs to bridge the digital skills gap by investing in education and training programs in ICT, data analysis, cybersecurity, and of course the AI. The demand for online learning platforms, education software, digital learning resources is also growing, and also opportunities exist for private companies and NGOs to establish skills development centers focusing on digital skills. Regarding the agricultural and rural development, Ethiopia is a major agricultural producer, presenting opportunities for agriculture, livestock, food security, farming. Farming is the other. So the use of data analytics, sensors, drones for precision agriculture and resource management is gaining traction. Expanding ICT infrastructure and services to rural areas can improve access to information, education, markets for rural communities. Regarding the government and public sector, Ethiopia is actively pushing a digital government, including e-governance, online services, and digital public platforms. The government is promoting the development of smart cities, creating opportunities for companies specializing in smart infrastructure, transportation, and urban planning. Collaboration between government and private sector is key to driving digital transformation, creating opportunities for joint ventures and public-private partnerships. And the other opportunity is we have an ICT park. So the ICT park is located in Addis Ababa for Ethiopia's IT sector structure. There are modern infrastructures, office spaces, and specialized facilities for ICT businesses. And also there is a platform for networking with other ICT companies, startups, and investors, access to government incentives, regulatory support, and policy guidance in the ICT park. And also there in ICT park, there is attracting skilled professionals and fostering vibrant ICT talent pool. So there are different opportunities. Maybe as a challenge, we can observe some limited infrastructure, the power supply issues. Actually, there is a good power supply, but we can take it as a challenge. Maybe as a global cybersecurity threats, it's a global pattern, so we can also see this. So overall, Ethiopia's ICT sector presents a dynamic and rapidly growing landscape. So the opportunities are plentiful, but it's crucial to address also the challenges. Actually, it is common for all. So with these opportunities, we humbly invite investors to work and invest in Ethiopia in the ICT sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Excellency Minister, for your point blank offer for investment. We like it very much. This is how it should be. Thank you for unveiling the opportunities available in Ethiopia. And we are very glad to inform you that we are lining up ourselves. The other investors are here. They're waiting for discussion with you, but we shall be investing in your telecom business, telecom sectors, especially the internet space. We will be investing I don't want to say the amount, but very soon you will know, and you know the name K3 already. So we are there, and we will be coming in a bigger way. Thank you very much, Excellency, and we can see some other friends. They have raised hands for question. Mr. Abi, please facilitate the question to the minister and let him answer. Thank you.
Sure, Dr. Haider. Thank you so much. We have someone named Zealous. Ms. Zealous, you have raised your hand. If you have a question, you may proceed on.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Okay, Mr. Zealous.
Yes, I'm from Pakistan. My name is Abdullah, not Zealous. And we all know Pakistan is very growing nation, very young nation, and we all know that Pakistan is developing country, and that's why there is lots of opportunities for real estate business, and the success rate in real estate business is 95%. And we all know that the trend of cosmetics and sunblocks etc. is very trending, and in Pakistan, the young nation, everyone wants to look very gorgeous and wants to enhance his physical
What's your question?
appearance.
What is
So
your
there is
question,
a
sir?
very
What is his question? What is your question? Please ask the question to the minister. If you have question to the minister, please ask the question to the Honorable Minister of Ethiopia. Do you have any question regarding Ethiopia? Then please proceed on. Otherwise, we'll let you speak about Pakistan later on. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I have a question because I'm not confirmed yet that you investors are going to invest in our business models.
Okay. If you have any question towards the minister, you may ask. If not, if you have a plan, a business plan or a business, please connect with me on my LinkedIn or here on the chat, and you can write the details. One of our team members will connect with you for your business plan or for your business.
Yes, I have a business plan.
Okay, perfect. So please send it to us. We'll be moving on to the next question. I see somebody else raised their hand. Miss Queen raised her hand. Thank you, Mr. Zealous, and we moved Miss Queen. Yes, Miss Queen.
Okay, my question is this. How long does it take to open up a company in Ethiopia?
Excellency Minister, can you answer this question? If I understood her question, she's asking how long it takes, how many days it takes to open up a company in Ethiopia. Is it the question?
Yes.
You're muted, Your Excellency. You're muted. That's the reason we could not hear you. Okay, please go.
Okay, I respond to the question in two ways. One is for local companies, and that is for international companies. For local companies, it takes not more than a day, but for international companies, the international companies has to come as an investor, and there are procedures in the Ethiopian Investment Commission, so they have to pass that procedure, and that may take maybe not more than half a month for international. There are procedures. They have to deposit some amount of money, and they have to proceed. But for already started collaboration or started relation, or for local companies, it is not more than a day. Not more than a day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and if I may ask to add to this question, just to have a clear understanding, when you say local and international, how about, is it for a foreigner or is it for a local person? When you say international, so as a foreigner, if Miss Queen is going to establish a company, she's from Nigeria, by the way, I know her personally. If she has to establish a company in Ethiopia as a foreigner, how long would it take? Please, Your Excellency, you're muted, Your Excellency.
Actually, it is for foreigner. For foreigner, it takes time. It has to pass through the investment procedures, or he has to attach with local business owners as a JV, or maybe in different format. Otherwise, it will take procedures through. He has to pass procedures through Ethiopian Investment Commission.
Okay, that does help. Thank you. I hope Ms. Queen, yeah, you were helped. And Dr. Haider, we are back to you. Or if anyone else has any question, please raise your hand so we can help you.
Well, I think a small suggestion is like we can put this whole question answer session at the end, because otherwise we are facing time challenge. Our speakers are all here, so we should go to the speakers, listen to them, take the note, and keep your question ready. And then we will have a question answer session at the end so that speaker concerned can answer the questions. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. If you can bear with us for an hour or so, it would be really useful for you and for us. Thank you for joining. And now we have, I think His Excellency Mamburi is still not here. So we'll be going to the next speaker, Her Excellency Mama Kwena, Ambassador of South Africa to Portugal. If Excellency is here, kindly proceed on.
Your Excellency, you're muted. You're muted. You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, I do.
Sawubona.
Sawubona, but good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank Dr. Uzzaman, organizer of this investment summit, for the kind invitation to present South Africa as an investment destination. I would also like to remind the audience that South Africa is currently celebrating the 30th anniversary of its democracy and has recently held the 7th round of national elections. On slide 2, I would, if somebody is able to show that as per request, but
yes.
yeah.
Prophet, please display the presentation for her. Thank you.
I would like to, this slide, I would just like to highlight that the South African population is young, which bodes well for the continued growth of the economy, as well as the fact that inflation continues to fall despite the geopolitical tensions in the world. Slide 3, value of the South Africa's economy. What makes South Africa's economy so interesting to the numerous companies who have invested in South Africa? Here, I would like to highlight that the country has an abundance of natural resources, is strategically situated to serve as a hub of industry in the Southern African region, and finally, it has preferential access to the numerous global markets. On the next slides, it is important for investors to take note of the various sectors of the South African economy that they could invest in. The first sector is the green economy, which includes green energy, recycling, hydrogen, biofuels, water infrastructure, and cogeneration. The second sector is resource-based, which includes mining, agro-processing, aquaculture, agriculture, mineral beneficiation, and the blue economy. The third sector is the services industries, which include automotive, leather, and footwear, clothing and textile, rail, metal, fabrications, heavy vehicles, cosmetics, and fast-moving consumer goods. Lastly, the fifth sector is advanced manufacturing, which includes plastics, electronics, white goods, aerospace, biochemicals, and the defense industry. For an investor, a great variety of sectors to invest in. On slide 5, I would like to focus on the platform to promote growth. Earlier in the presentation, I spoke of the preferential access to numerous global markets South Africa achieved this access by signing a number of special trade agreements, the most important ones being the economic partnership agreements between the Southern African. Hello?
Yes, you may continue, Your Excellency. You may continue.
As I was saying, the most important ones out of the agreements that were signed is the Southern African Economic Partnership Agreements between the Southern African Customs Unions, commonly called SACU, and the EU. And the most recent one with the most potential, the African Continental Free Trade Area, with the states of the African Union. Why do these matter? Once an investor has reached the sales capacity in South African market, they can then consider expanding their products to other countries using the various trade agreements South Africa has signed. On slide 6, I would like to focus on the special economic zones. South Africa has 10 special economic zones, which cover most of the sectors that I've already mentioned. And these are geographically designated areas set aside for specific targeted economic activities. These industrial hubs are supported special incentives and trade laws that differ from the rest of the country. This would include preferential 15% corporate tax, a building allowance, an employment incentive area. The slide is a little busy and small, but the information can be shared with you later. 4 new special economic zones have already been announced recently and are currently being set up. Why South Africa? As an ambassador of South Africa in Portugal, part of my work is to engage with the Portuguese companies who have invested in South Africa. These include large companies such as Amorim Corp, Motor and Jill, which is a construction company, Salvador Caetano, and the Pestana Group of Hotels. All of these companies have been increasing their investment in South Africa, despite the current infrastructure challenges. This slide gives you many reasons why South Africa is a destination of choice to invest in for so many international large and mid-sized corporations. The main reasons for the Portuguese investors are that it is the most developed economy in Africa. It provides access to global markets and has advanced financial services and a highly sophisticated banking system. Lastly, if you successfully invest in South Africa, your foreign staff will enjoy a high quality of life, favorable cost of living, food and hospitality, of course. Listed on this last slide are a number of fact sheets on certain sectors which are available and could be shared out of the potential investors. You may also use these 2 websites, firstly, to gain better understanding of the business environment in South Africa, as well as on energy-related products and services. The South African agency, which is called Invest South Africa, is the country's preeminent investment promotion agency and is key for a successful investment effort. thank you for your time, and I look forward to more potential investors and commitments from potential investors. Come to South Africa, the best place. Come to South Africa, the most beautiful Mzansi. We are looking forward to receiving you as investors. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you very much, Mr. Avi. You are in the soil of South Africa. So talk to Excellency and talk a few seconds on South Africa, and then we invite the next speaker.
Definitely, Dr. Haider, definitely. Thank you so much. My phones, my chats are just buzzing. So it's really, I can see there's a lot of excitement in this webinar today. And of course, South Africa, if you have not been here, it's really something else. We have everything in South Africa, the infrastructure, everything. Her Excellency will say. In fact, Cape Town is the second most beautiful city right now in the world. And Johannesburg has the most, the busiest airport in the continent of Africa. And we have different types of culture itself within the country. I think if I have to talk about South Africa, but one thing that I love about this country, and right now I'm not in South Africa, I'm in Mauritius, but what I love about South Africa, I must say, Your Excellency, is the food.
Yes.
I've traveled to a lot of countries, and after a while, I will be wanting to just go to South Africa just to eat some good food. So yes, Your Excellency, thank you so much for all the details. And as you are talking already, one or two person already sent me a message privately and asking to connect about investment in South Africa. So hopefully we'll stay in touch, and I look forward to see you very soon. It was a pleasure to meet you in Lisbon, and I look forward to see you again very soon.
Thank you. And me too.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you, Mr. Avi. Definitely South Africa has abundant facilities to offer to the world, any sectors. And there is no limit, simply. So let's look forward, and we will definitely be bringing billions of dollars. So we will pull in all the investors from all around the world, Excellency, to Africa, especially South Africa. Don't worry about that. Since your election is over, new government taking place, I'm sure this is the time, high time, I would say, the most high time. And the world is already burnt out. The meaning of the world has reached to the glass ceiling. Now, Africa is only the continent that can grow, that has the potential. That's why all the big boys are now eyeing, as you can see, and a lot of issues are happening. So I look forward to hear from you once again very soon, Excellency, and all our South African and African friends and friends of Africa from all around the world. At this point of time, I can see 80 people from all the continents are here coming and going. It should be more than 100. Right now, we have with us today Mr. Gonzalez Terrenas, Dr. Gonzalez Terrenas, His Excellency, the diaspora leader of Portugal, and also a global business leader, having a lot of experience in Africa and an African lover, I'm sure. Mr. Gonzalez, please speak out and tell the audience your experience and what are the opportunities you have in your bag for Africa. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon or good morning or good evening for all. Let me first thank you to the Business Investor Summit and you, Dr. Haider Uzzaman, for this invitation. I'd like also to give my compliments to our colleagues, speakers, and diplomats in the room. Well, for me, it's an honor because Portugal is the most African country in Europe. So I'm very pleased and honored to have the chance to share with you some experience. Dr. Haider have invited me to probably to give an overall as a Portuguese and a world citizen about the relations and how I see Africa gathering with the rest of the world. So as Dr. Haider have mentioned, I'm co-founder of Diaspora Prime Portugal. It's a global consortium. As the name says, we want to gathering diasporas from all over the world. I have a big experience on corporate business. I've been participating in several organizations. I'm also executive board of the International Network of Chambers of Commerce of Portugal around the world, an organization that leads 64 chambers of commerce in terms of connections. So we try to build bridges between and finally also representing Health and Care Foundation based in London, the HHERF, but the focus of this foundation is mainly Africa. So having this first approach, just to share with you that we have a global positioning. And with this, we want to enlighten that after 15 years of experience living in Africa, I don't like the word, but I've been expat in Africa, in West Africa during 15 years, and working on public affairs, lobby, corporate business, and trying to enlighten and practicing economic diplomacy. We have ambassadors in the room, and nowadays I think it is consensual that diplomacy should come out of the offices and go to the ground, because what companies need is that diplomacy can push business forward and doing lobby in behalf of the economic environment in different countries. And so that's what I've been practicing traveling around the world. What can I say about the experience as an Occidental entrepreneur and also leading some associations? For me, there's a couple of words to be very pragmatic that can define the best terms that we should have when we arrive in the African continent. First, approach. I have learned that the right approach and the momentum became key in any kind of business with Africa. So it's not about money, it's not about health, it's not about rich or having more or less skills. First of all, the approach. Then, and I always try to pass this message to my Portuguese fellow, we need to have in mind the context. We cannot bring to Africa our own approach. We cannot bring to Africa our own ideas or concepts. We need to fit with the local reality. We need to understand local partners, and of course engage. That's my first thing when I land in an African country, to look for the local partners. They are essential. So also, another thing that I should enlighten, it's the local advantages, the individual advantages of each country. I have office in Cape Verde, for example. So we need to look at Cape Verde and understand that oceans, nature, tourism are the main explore. So that's not, we don't need to invent the wheel. And sometimes in Africa, when we receive foreign investors or businessmen, we try to invent something, and it is not needed, in fact. So explore the advantages of each country and try to mingle that advantage with, first of all, African countries. I've been in a lot of summits, I've been in a lot of meetings, and sometimes I realize that African leaders should start working with African leaders and then look as a bloc to the outside. Because Africa, when we usually say that we need to feed Africa, no, Africa is the only one that can feed itself, because it's rich in soils, rich in atmosphere, rich in everything. So for me, and just to pass the message, have this context in mind is mandatory to the success. Then the cooperation inside and outside, trying to cooperate and establish bridges between locals and foreign partners. And again, and I used to say this in some conference where I participate, yes, we can approach Africa from several angles, but there are some dots that we should remain in our head if we want to do business in Africa, and if Africa wants to move forward. Logistics, energy, and connections. So there's no development without bring people and let people get out of the country using, of course, connections by airplanes. The logistics for food, for goods, it's mandatory. And then energy. I remember once in a summit in Guinea-Bissau, we organized several economic missions, and we brought, potential investors. The organizing, we were co-organizers, and our fellows in the ground want to bring industrials to the country. So, but Guinea-Bissau doesn't have a chain of energy, a net of energy. So why are you bringing industrials to the country? So there are some approaches and some contexts that must be first analyzed and adapt. And Africa is crossing digitalization and industrialization moments. And in each country, this is, in our point of view, also mandatory. And again, when we speak, when we never been in Africa, we don't know Africa, it's impossible. But once forever, that's my spirit, having living in Africa during 15 years. It is important to remind that we have different Africas. We cannot put Africa in only one bag. We have the Maghreb, we have the Sub-Saharan Africa, we have South Africa. So we had Africa towards Middle East, and each of these regions have specifications that cannot be confused with other specification in other countries. So from my experience and having an overview of what I can share with the audience is this feeling. Africa must have added value before export, must be aware of their individual phases of internationalizations, and then adapt needs to those phases and try to understand that at the end of the day, it's not all about business, it's all about people. So if we gathering the right people, money comes. It's only a question of time. And also, when we receive investors, economic leaders, to gathering with business in Africa, I think sometimes we forget to understand what it is the outcome for the locals. And this is very important. And in all my approaches, in all my economic missions and diplomatic missions, I always try to do my homework before arriving, so we could understand what can be our impact. And when we say impact, it's a transversal impact in every field. So because if we don't have this in mind, what it is the outcome for both parties, we risk to have a dominate position, and having dominate position nowadays doesn't work and doesn't bring success. So having said this, and trying to join Dr. Haider about business opportunities. Well, from our side, and to be pragmatic, we can resume to the audience 3 or 4 dots. We are organizing in the next year a huge summit through Diaspora Prime Portugal, and we will invite some countries. It's integrated in a very important summit, KSP Summit. It's 17 years of experience, a summit that gathers thinkers and strategic thinkers all around the world. And we want to have Africa in the next year in Porto City. So we will share with the organizer all the information, and we invite everybody to stay tuned to this opportunity. Last but not least, just to enlighten two business areas that we are leading. One, it's an investment fund with Golden Visa integrated. This investment fund is Capital 88. We are global. We have bases in Portugal and in Asia, in particular in Macau, and we are trying to attract investments for innovation and technology. This is a business that is open to any investors. We have the application for Golden Visa, is an advantage, and please feel free to reach us for this. Last but not least, I'm participating in being part of, for me, the most amazing and future, if you want to put it like that, mobility solution, sustainable mobility solution. The name is a very Portuguese name, Tuga. The company is Tuga Innovations, and we are bringing to the world a sustainable way of mobility based on an EV, a multimodal vehicle that use land and air to transport people. And also I invite you to join us in tuginnovations.com and understand better what we can offer. And Africa will need us for sure. It's only about time. And please feel free to reach us rather through the organization. I have put in the chat our contacts. Again, to the Investor Summit, thank you very much. Dr. Haider, thank you very much. We are more than happy to participate on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Gonzalez. Appreciate your input about Africa. Fantastic. Yes, that's the strategy that the investor should take. Thank you for all the opportunities that you have unveiled today. Certainly, some of the investors present here, they will be taking the opportunities and they will be in touch. Thank you. Right now, we have His Excellency Molly Sesiole, former minister and current High Commissioner of the Kingdom of Lesotho to Canada and 17 other countries. If you're here, Excellency, you can start. Is His Excellency still here? He was here at the beginning, but I don't see him now.
Yes, I don't see him, right, Excellency Laila for now, and we can.
Sure. Go ahead. Her Excellency Laila Rahal Atfani has been one of the driving force for African female entrepreneurs and African women. And I can see her working day and night, promoting Africa, Africa, Africa. And I was thinking what this lady is doing. And I followed her in LinkedIn for last 5 years. And then I thought that she's the one that can really propel African female population, especially any business, whether male or female, but especially the females that are in business. Well, with this, let's not waste her time. Better we invite her and let's hear from her what she has to say about Africa for the world. Excellency Laila, welcome. Is she here?
Yes, she was right here. I'm just looking for her. If our team could meanwhile also just check. She mentioned about the network problem a few minutes before. Your Excellency, if you're here, you may unmute. Dr. Haider, I suggest we move on to the next
Okay,
speaker.
we can go to the next speaker. Is an well-experienced person, Professor Muhammad A. Shadar. He's a global citizen, I would say. I don't say who is from where. He has seen the world. He has gone around the world, and lived around the world so much that we cannot say where he was born. It will be an injustice for him that if I say he was born in India, of course, but he's not an Indian, I would say. He's a global citizen. So, we had been to Africa in many countries, many places together, and helped many countries as well together, building their economy. So with this, Professor Muhammad Sardar, please speak out and share your experience and your knowledge and your propositions to the African leaders, those who are present here. Thank you. Welcome.
Good evening. Dr. Haider, thank you for inviting me. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. As Dr. Haider said that I should be called global citizen. We all are somehow, belong to this earth. What I wish to share with you about some very interesting facts. If you allow me to present 2-3 slides, I should be able to happily present them.
Sure. Sharafat, please allow him to present.
Yes.
You may try, Dr.
Okay, while he's trying, I just let you know. You see, I might not be talking about where to invest and what to invest. What I wish to tell you that somehow
Avinash,
we need to understand.
time is going end.
Okay, I am
1 minute remaining.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm here. So there are only one thing I wish to take you to, and that is this document. See, from my own experience, I don't know is it a visible document or not, but let me just go back again.
Yes, we can see it. We can see it, Dr. Muhammad.
Right. Okay. 1 second. So what I was trying to tell you is that in this earth there are only 3 kind of resources we have. One, what is on the ground, what is under the ground, and the other resources is the human resources. Now every part of the world somehow is having one resources abundantly available, and that is called human resources. And most of the countries today, you can take a look. Most of the countries today, especially developing countries, fearing one problem, that is how to control human resources. Now, the most populated country of the world today, if you can look, is China, facing huge shortage of workforce. So it is not the excessive population that is harming us, but it is the management, I think, more to knowledge management and resources management. So in our developing countries, especially Africa, most of the countries, all of them are developing countries. And we do not know how we are losing money and to whom we are losing to. So I have one point to explain that the reason for which we remain poor and nothing but the terms of the trade. We do not apply the available resources or available terms and conditions available to us from International Chamber of Commerce. And in terms of buying things and selling things, And the second most important thing that I wanted to emphasize is that there are only 4 things to sell: the goods, services, intellectual property, and physical labor. And there are 3 things to function, all these 4 things to sell. One is that exporter. An exporter is helpless without transporting goods. And transport is the mother of all businesses. And somehow we are not looking into this specific requirement for every emerging economy, that we need to find solution for transporting goods in and out of our territory. And the moment we know how to do that, obviously we'll be able to see how much money we are giving away without knowing why you are giving away. So I think all the participants, industry leaders, and politicians and rule of the developing countries need to look at 3 things. One is that what to export, how much we need to spend to export, and how to minimize our cost to transport them so that our product is competitive in the market. And with this, I would like to suggest Dr. Haider that if you in future find any scope to discuss on 2 topics only, one seminar for 2 topics. What is how we can reduce our expenses, especially expenditure related to transport paid in foreign currency. The moment we can minimize our expenses related to import and export, we should be able to create jobs. We should be able to create healthy foreign exchange reserve so that we can bargain and we can improve our infrastructure and all other things related to this. It is astonishing to know for many maybe that the 30% of the total value in terms of goods we export and import goes into transport and logistic cost. The moment we know how to control it, the moment we know how to reduce our cost, we'll be able to know how to maximize our trade in terms of how much time we can use our resources in terms of when the money is invested in the business, how long it takes for the goods to arrive, clear the goods from the customs and delivered to our warehouses. Now, if you reduce the transit time of the goods, let's say from 100 days to 25 days, the deployed resources can be used 4 to 6 times more than the current cycle of the trade. So this is what my suggestion, that please look into this before you look into investment into the core activities. Because if the goods and raw materials do not arrive in time at a lower cost, your cost will never be competitive. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor, for your valuable speech, valuable inputs. I know you can give more information. You have more data, more information, more things to offer to Africa. I'm sure with your input, Africa can be a different version of Africa for sure. Well, we will definitely...
Just to make one comment, Doctor.
Yes, please.
In just a matter of 3 years, Africa probably could become, Africa could probably save $1 trillion from transport activity itself, and probably can create 10 million jobs. It's just a matter of taking small initiatives in the part of the leaders participating in this seminar. Very small initiative, capitalizing the policies to improve efficiency and save money.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Thank you so much. We will definitely be getting engaged, and I'm sure the African leaders, those who are listening to us today, listening to you today, will surely be in touch, and we will take it forward from there. Even Ethiopia being a very big economy and big country in the eastern side of Africa, I think they have a lot of things to do. South Africa has a tremendous amount of things to do. Nigeria has tremendous amount of things to do for sure. So we look forward to getting more engaged very soon. With this, is Excellency Laila back or she's not?
No, she's not yet here, Dr. Haider. We have contacted her. We may proceed with Excellency patients for now.
Okay. Is she here? Is
Yes.
Ms. Patience here?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And please make your presentation. Put your beautiful Bayelsa state of Nigeria, most resourceful and most rich wild resources state of Nigeria. And you are being a capable Director General of the Bayelsa Investment Promotion Agency. We are really looking forward to hear from you, Ms. Patience.
Thank you so much, Dr. Uzzaman. I have to thank you and your team for putting together this wonderful business summit. And I really must thank you especially for making sure that there is very good representation across the various African sub-regions so that investors actually have a very rich experience. So, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very brief presentation on the investment opportunities that are available in Bayelsa State. As Dr. Uzzaman rightly put it, beautiful Bayelsa State, which is a land of pristine white beaches, winding creeks, wetlands, and very, very hospitable persons. I don't know now, I have a very, very brief presentation. I don't know if I could be permitted to share my screen.
Yes, sure. Yes.
Okay, so let me do that now. Okay, just waiting for it to be enabled.
Sure.
Okay, I'll try again. It said disabled. Let me just try once more to okay, I'm not seeing the option to share it. I don't know if my screen is, oh, nice. Okay, just a minute, I see it now. Yes, I see it. Okay, yes, there we are. Great. Okay, so very, very briefly, I'd like to mention why Bayelsa State holds key advantages for anyone who is thinking of investing, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa as a whole. So in Bayelsa State, we have very key investment opportunities in the blue economy, in the green economy, in clean energy, and also climate finance. Now, why Bayelsa State? For those who may not know much about Bayelsa State, it is situated in the heart of the West African Niger Delta on a land area of about 11,000 square kilometers. Small, but it has enormous potentials based on its location and natural resources. So Bayelsa State sits on an extremely fertile land area, which is the Niger Delta, which actually is one of the largest wetlands in the entire world. I believe it's ranked at about the third largest wetland in the world. Of course, this means that it contributes immensely to carbon sequestration. So the first thing I want to say, if any investors are interested in carbon trading, carbon credits, look no further than Bayelsa State. That is an amazing location offering opportunities, especially for mangrove reforestation. Now, our other claim to fame is our coastline. We have a coastline of over 203 kilometers, which happens to be the longest coastline of any state in Nigeria. Having said that, I'm sure that already investors listening are already imagining the sorts of things that could flow from that really long coastline. Bayelsa State is in the heart of the Gulf of Guinea. As such, it is a natural access point to the Gulf of Guinea, which is recognized as one of the richest fishing waters in the entire world. And because Bayelsa has the widest access to the Atlantic Ocean in Nigeria, it is indeed an ideal location for international trade within West Africa, the Gulf of Guinea, and beyond. And, you know, as our investors are probably aware, with the advent of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, of which Nigeria is a member state, Bielsa State gives you access to the largest free trade area in the world, with a market of at least 1.4 billion persons. Now, Dr. Haider, when he made the brief introduction, mentioned that Bielsa State is quite rich in oil and gas. Yes, Bielsa is actually the home of oil and gas in Nigeria. And for, I think even for the West African region, oil was first struck in Bielsa State in commercial quantities way back in 1956. Bielsa has always been known for oil and gas, but we strongly desire, while the gas reserves hold huge potentials for so many things along the gas value chain, gas to power and other forms of gas monetization, of course, we do desire to make sure that we are providing a diversified experience for our investors, and not only based on oil and gas. So speaking of gas, though, Bielsa does have the highest gas reserves of any state in Nigeria, exceeding 18 trillion cubic feet, and it supplies 60% of the Nigeria liquefied natural gas resources, which are exported out of Nigeria. But in addition to gas, Bielsa also has other mineral resources such as silica sand, clay, gypsum, lead, zinc, lignite, limestone, manganese, and even uranium. So in addition to the oil and gas resources, there's a number of other natural resources which would be of interest to investors. Now, I'd like to go back again to speak about our extensive coastline and wide access to the Atlantic Ocean. This is because we particularly seek collaboration with investors for blue economy related investments, anything along that value chain, such as tourism, maritime transport, port development, vessel building and repair facilities, deep sea fishing, offshore aquaculture. Really, the opportunities are limitless. And when investors for gas to power, we're also seeking partnership in cleaner energy or clean energy projects, such as wind and even tidal energy, and even floating solar farms as well. And this one is very exciting. Bielsa being the home of oil and gas, we actually have a number of abandoned oil wells dotted across the landscape. So we are now looking, since those wells are no longer productive, we're looking at generating geothermal energy from those abandoned oil and gas wells. And we are very, very keen to speak with any investors who have expertise in that area or interest in that area. As I don't know if the investors listening are aware, statistics show that actually Nigeria, based on our huge population of about 200 million, is actually one of the most countries that is energy deficient. There's a wide market for power from the various sources. There's a huge market for electricity generation. Okay, I know that the time is limited, so I will just move on to the green economy. One of the key priorities for Bielsa State includes increasing food production, and as such, also establishing agro-processing zones across the state to support value addition to major staples for export. Bielsa has comparative advantage in commodities such as oil palm, plantain, cassava, sugarcane, maize, rice, banana, cocoa, a huge list. But I must echo what some other speakers have said. Here, we're not just talking about exporting these raw commodities. We're talking about value chain. We're talking about adding value. We're talking about establishing export processing zones for all of this. And speaking of export, I should mention that Nigeria is also a country designated as an AGOA country, which is the African Growth Opportunities Act. It's a United States act, which enables people producing at least 4,600 products in designated sub-Saharan countries to export duty-free to the United States. So that's something that investors should really keep in mind, and why it's another reason why BIALSA is a great opportunity for investors. Now, in terms of ease of doing business, BIALSA, as at the last ranking by the World Bank, was actually ranked first among the South states and second in Southern Nigeria as a whole by the World Bank in 2018. They haven't done another exercise since then, but as of the last rankings, we did rank first. BIALSA State is very proud of its transparency and accountability efforts. We do run a transparent and accountable government backed by several business facilitating laws, including the Debt Management Office Law, the Fiscal Transparency Law, Public Procurement Law, and the Audit Law to give investors comfort. I should also mention BIALSA State has one of the lowest crime rates of any state in Nigeria. At the last statistics from the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, it was shown that BIALSA State only contributes about 1.1% to total reported crimes across Nigeria. So you can feel secure, not only yourself, your staff, your infrastructure, your investments, you can feel very secure in BIALSA State. So I hope that with this brief presentation, I have been able to show you that BIALSA State does have comparative advantage in several industrial sectors, including power generation, petrochemicals, gas-based industries, agro-allied processing activities, deep sea fishing, aquaculture, ecotourism, and so much more. So with that, I invite you all to come see BIALSA and invest. If you look up Invest BIALSA online, I'm sure that our website is the very first one that will pop up. It's called Invest BIALSA. And for further details on all the investment opportunities, you will find them there. And I think I've also shared my email address in the chat box. So I look forward to your questions and look even more forward to engaging with every single investor who is here so that we can partner together and develop beautiful BIALSA. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Excellency Patience, our good friend for a long time. And I must compliment your speech or your presentation by saying that you are very hospitable people, for sure. I was there in BIALSA in 2018 for 1 day only. I said, I can come only for 1 day. I don't have any much business.
But you stayed for a while.
So I had to stay 8 days. 8 days in BIALSA, you won't believe it. And it was fabulous. Really, I got serious treatment from all the people that I met, and they were all nice and vibrant people. And I feel that BIALSA has everything. All the projects that you talked, these are the projects of the time. I tell you, the carbon credit things. Definitely, it is doable, and we have a very strong partner for that. We will be getting engaged with that. All kind of energies, and I have a mandate from a government of a country that are looking for gas. They want only gas. They will invest whatever money is needed to convert the gas to be fertilizer, urea. They want to produce fertilizer. They have 4 plants which are not running in capacity. So they want to relocate 1 or 2 of their existing brand new plants to a place where they can get the gas connectivity and start producing fertilizer. And they want to buy back 80, 90, 100%. But as Nigeria and BIALSA will need some of the fertilizer for some of the urea, they will give you as much as you need and take the remainder. This is an offer I'm giving you online in presence of all this audience here. If you are ready, we are ready. I'll send you the letter immediately. The government letter, the Prime Minister of a country authorized me to discuss this with Tanzania, but Tanzania is not ready because their gas is offshore. It will take another 3 years. But this country that I'm talking about, they're ready to take it as of yesterday basis. So if you are ready, this could be something that we can kickstart immediately. I'm sure our investors are excitingly waiting to talk to you about other projects that you mentioned. But I must say that you are very hospitable people, and it was very nice talking to you once again last week. And also His Excellency, the Governor, is also very dynamic, and please say my regards to him. And I'm looking forward to visit you soon. And with this, I would also like to give you an idea that how it will be if we bring the global investor into Bielsa, not in Nigeria, Bielsa. Not only in Nigeria, Bielsa, even Nigerian investor will come to Bielsa. This is just a food for thought I'm just planting in your head. We will discuss it later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Once again. And with this, we look forward. And is His Excellency Molisa Siole here or no?
Not yet, Dr. Haider, but we have His Excellency Imam with us.
Okay, great. Okay, that is our leader from West Africa, again from Gambia. He's the special envoy ambassador at large of the government of the Gambia, a small but beautiful country in the West Africa, in tongue in the mouth, we say, but it's stably growing. I'm sure I have been to Gambia many times for last 15, 18, more than 15 years. But I would like to, and we would like to hear from His Excellency Imam Jaite. Welcome, Excellency Imam Jaite. Please feel free to speak on behalf of Gambia, on behalf of Africa. Thank you.
Doctor?
Yes, Excellency.
How are you guys?
Absolutely gorgeous. We have about 100 people online right now here. So you are talking to 100 investors, business owners, and dignitaries from all around the world. The world is here in your hand.
Greetings to each and every participants. Lovely to be among with all of you guys. So unfortunate I can't talk much because I am on my way. Somebody got an accident. They just called me that, being a guardian of that person, I'm already inside of the hospital at this present moment. I'm very sorry. I got all my speeches and everything, but, I'm at the emergency unit at this present moment in London Royal Hospital. So I can't talk or listen. I'm very sorry for that, doctor.
That's fine, no problem, Excellency. And on behalf of you, we will have few words about Gambia, if you allow, and we will talk about it, and we'll take it to the next level, and we'll go for question and answer. And for you, there will be questions for sure. We will keep it and pass it on to you for answering and getting engaged with the investors that are interested to connect you.
Yes.
Our best wishes for the person.
I am very, very sorry. I got ready and I got my speeches and everything, but just 30 minutes ago, then my phone rang. So I said, yeah, got an accident on motorway, and then your name, you have to come to the hospital at the Royal Rumble now, waiting for the doctors to inform me. So that's why, I can't jump.
That's fine, no problem. Excellent. There is no problem on that. We'll look forward to hear from you again very soon. Well, with this, I think we have any more speaker here?
Not as of now, Dr. Haider. We have received a few messages, emergencies and urgencies. Unfortunately, certain things is definitely out of hands, especially when it comes to bringing people from different continents. We are in different time zones. So I am currently talking to a few two of our guest speakers who said, unfortunately, they had an emergency, and one of them, they're having some issue with internet. So I think we can move on to our Q&A session. Just
Absolutely.
before we
The
move
floor
on.
is open and they can ask questions.
If anyone has any questions, there is a lot of things I've seen on the chat. Like I said, I could not go through everything. Now is the time to raise your hand and ask the questions. And if you're unable to talk, you can write on the chat. I will read it for you. Okay, I can see a few hands. Ms. Prabashi.
Hello everyone and August gathering. I had a questions regarding the whole process actually. Can I just place my question?
Yes, please go ahead.
This is Sakib Hassan from Probashi Seva Limited. So Probashi is an international cross-job matchmaking platform that primarily specializes in the migration sector. And we are currently working in connecting Asia with the Middle East and GCC countries. And while doing so, we realized that a lot of impact can be generated by connecting Africa and the GCC countries. For example, a lot of people from Africa could be very much benefited if they could work in the GCC countries. And as Africa grows, a lot of professionals and experts requirement would be there in different sectors in Africa, which could be provided from, let's say, Asia, Europe, or many other different regions. So if we want to venture ourselves in Africa, let's say, then my question would be that in which region primarily we should be focusing on? And we would need to connect with different investors and stakeholders in African regions, so GC regions who are working there. So for a startup or for a company from this region, how could we connect with the investors and stakeholders? Thank you.
Who should
Yes.
answer this question? I think Mr. Gonzalez, Dr. Gonzalez, if he's here, probably he can give some light, shed some lights on this.
Yes, but indeed, my sound was muted and I could not follow the full question or the full mention.
In one sentence, if you could really ask your question in one sentence, make it short and simple so we grasp your question.
For a company that connects Asia and GCC region that works in the migration sector, and if that company wants to venture in the African region, then which regions in the Africa we should aspire to begin with, and how we can connect with the investors and stakeholders in Africa who could facilitate the whole process and help us through the process. Thank you.
Well, that's a very difficult question, and there's no specific answer, because to any kind of business or approaches, the briefing is mandatory. And I'm not aware of the details, but I will be more than happy if you want to share on the chat bot in order to try to help you, because as I have said in my intervention, the context is fundamental, and try to understand what kind of approach and needs your business have in terms, namely, of energy, network, if it requires 3G, 4G, and those kind of assets that a country must have to host specific business. So, and also, if there's a benchmark on the local country, because I used to say that there's no perfect country for any perfect business. It depends on the factors and the added value and all the human capital and technology that is aligned. And from there, that's the only approach that I see possible. Try to build from A to Z on it. But please feel free to chat if you have more contents.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think there are a number of people raised hand also. Mr. Ravi, please facilitate them and let them ask the question, and any of the speaker can respond to their question, including Ms. Patience is still here. and she will be able to answer some of the questions being represented from Bielsa vis-a-vis Nigeria. And Her Excellency Ambassador is here also from South Africa.
Sure, Dr. Haider. A kind request to please make your question as simple as possible so we can understand your questions and you make it easier for all the different leaders. I see Mr. Jacob, who is raising hand. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. My name is Jacob, and first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Haider for the invitation to this business summit. Appreciate the opportunity to participate and listen in. It has been very interesting and informative. So thank you, Dr. Haider. With that said, I don't have a question, but I would like to shortly talk about a fundraising effort we are conducting for a project that will have a significant impact on society, particularly for football's youth and talents in Africa and also nationwide. So just let me shortly introduce Fairplay. It's a Dubai-based company with a SaaS-based platform. It's a platform that serves as a digital showcase for football players and a recruitment tool for managers, leaders, and football clubs. And our driving force with Fairplay is to connect players, managers, and clubs into one unified platform. So football is like the world's biggest sports today, and however, there are also significant challenges and problems within it. So I will highlight two of the major problems and how Fairplay also can solve them. So the first issue concerns the football players. That's also the largest target group. So today it's more than 265 million registered football players in the world. The majority of the players do not play at a professional level, which is their dream. They don't have the right network that will take them to the next level also. And on average, a player changed clubs 3 to 5 times during their career. And in today's digital world, it can be challenging for a player to make themselves visible to clubs looking for new talents. And we have, on the other hand, clubs and leaders that face challenges when trying to find and recruit the best players that match their needs and vision. So there's a clear gap between these two groups, and Fairplay is ready to address it. So we aim to provide all football players true Fairplay with better conditions, opportunities, and a network to reach the full potential, regardless of where they come from or who they know. And we want to offer clubs, on the other hand, and leaders a tool that simplifies and streamlines their approach to scouting and recruiting players. So if you'd like to hear more about our projects and platform, maybe have a longer presentation, or see a demo or how the platform or app is working, please get in touch with Dr. Haider so we can take it from there. Thank you guys for your time and the opportunity once again. I look forward to hear more from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Jacob Samo. That's an wonderful solutions. I have seen it. My friend Haider Jacob has shown this. They were in Portugal, and I said that Africa is lacking this because Africa has produced so many football players. You see, who are playing for France, who are playing for Netherlands, who are playing for Germany. Tell me, it's Africans.
African players, yeah.
Just imagine so many players are lacking opportunities in Africa. There are so many players, I tell you. And your solution is for them. Your solution is a savior for them. I'm sure there are hundreds of and thousands of football players that are qualified to play internationally from Nigeria, from Gambia, from Cote d'Ivoire.
No doubt.
Cameroon, I'm sure, but they don't know how to contact, who to contact, and the clubs doesn't know how to get in touch with these players. You know, the communication is still a big issue, and there is no platform as such that you have today built in. And I'm sure, I'm very, very confident with this platform that you can really help the less fortunate footballers or cricketers around the world to be in the limelight. May God bless you, and thank you so much for
God bless.
developing such a beautiful solutions. And I wish you all the best, and I'm sure you will be smashing the markets in Africa
Hopefully.
and anywhere in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Take
Mr.
care.
Abi.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Jacob. Thank you, Dr. Haider. We have now passed our 90 minutes promise to keep this webinar, but due to the fact that we had quite a few speakers today, we'll be allowing maybe 2 or 3 more questions. And please, again, keep your questions very simple and straightforward to our leaders who are here today. I can see hands being raised. Ms. Queen, yes, please go ahead.
My name is Queen Success from Nigeria. We have products in Nigeria that we would like to take to other countries in the continent and then globally as well. But we are faced with taxes, barriers, and duties. So here is my question. When is the free trade agreement going to be exercised within the African Union? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's a very deep question,
and that's for the policymakers, especially the minister from Ethiopia, if he's around, Excellency Yashun, he could answer, or another ambassador could answer probably, not us. Or we can take a note, and I can give it to the ECOWAS head office, which is based in Nigeria, in Abuja, and His Excellency Mamburi Njai, the former finance minister of Gambia and the current right person to answer this question. In fact, he is the advisor to the ECOWAS president on economic affairs and integration. I think he's the right person. So we'll take your question as he's not here and pass it on to him to answer you directly. How is that?
That's perfect. Thank you very much, Dr. Haider.
Great. Okay.
Okay, we move to the next question. Anyone else who is raising their hand, if you have a question directly addressed to the leaders? I would like to also say, I did see some more questions on the group. If we have not answered your question, it is impossible for us to answer to everyone, but you are welcome to email us or even contact us on the details we have provided. Okay, maybe 2 more last questions. I can see again, Mr. Zealous, again, that raised hand. Please, Mr. Zealous, if you have any questions, please, you may ask in a few seconds.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm from Nigeria, Zealous Idonova. And I have 2 questions. The first one is, the man who talked about the football game, how do we contact him? And the second question is, how do investors get to find businesses they partnership with in Africa? Is it from selected group or selected members that are here on presentation, or is like a community of people to bring their plans to you people and they invest it, or it's selected people? I just want to know.
Wow, that's a great question.
Let them, yes, let the the other gentleman, yes, Jacob, to answer this question, I think better.
Yes, yes.
Are you here, Mr. Jacob?
Yes, please. Can you get that again? I didn't hear you so well. Sorry.
Your first question, Mr. Zealous.
How do we contact you? You said something about investing in young Africans who know how to play football. And I want to know how we can contact you.
No problem. I will get my email address on the chat, so you can just contact me from there. No problem.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No problem.
Do I need to repeat the second question?
Yes, please. Please repeat it again.
The second question is, how do investors find the companies to partnership with? Is it from the selected people your organization brings out to represent, or is it going to be a community whereby local businesses comes and pitch their appraisal? Like, how do you find the person to invest it?
Okay. Dr. If I may, or you would like somebody else to answer?
Go ahead. Yeah, I think you can answer. Yes.
Okay, sure. Your question is very simple, and the answer is right here. We are your answer, and this is what we are specialized in. We will connect you anywhere you want, in any country in Africa. And the reason we have done this summit today is to focus on Africa, and to also announce some good news. We are working very hard behind the scenes to create not only a webinar, not only summits, but also a platform where very soon you will have access directly with companies, investors in different parts of the world. So you will be able to have, like Dr. Haider calls it, our global marketplace. You will have straight access. At this point in time, any connection that you need, we walk with you, we connect you with the person, but very soon we will have everything on one platform for you to look at. So in short, we are your answer. Hopefully that helps.
Yes, it helps.
So you may ask us, email us, or on the details given on the chat, and we will help you and connect you with who you need to be connected with. I will move on to the next question because our time is going, and we would like to stop very soon to honor our time with you. We have someone from Ms. Belema Gabriel.
Okay, good day, everyone.
Mr. Belema. Yes, please, Mr. Belema.
Yeah. All right. My name is Mr. Belema Gabriel from Nigeria. Also another Niger data based in River State. I am the founder and the CEO of Brenner's Global Services. And,
Mr. Belema, sorry to interrupt you. Could you maybe put your mic closer to you? You are quite soft.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. Please go ahead.
Okay. So I am the director of Brenner's Global Services, and we are into oil and gas, and we are looking forward to having investors that can partner with us, come and invest in our company to see how we can redefine the oil and gas market. But I want to ask this question now: that how can we gain access to these investors through you?
Yes. If you want to connect, Dr. Haider, would you like to answer? I don't want to be the one answering all the questions. If you would like somebody else.
Fine. Okay. No worries. You see, we work as a catalyst. Our job is to connect both sides, investors and investees. We have 40,000 accredited investors from all around the world with $5.5 trillion in hand, cash. We connect with them with the project owners, those who have project ready to go. It's not, we don't connect with these investors, those who projects that are not ready to go. That's our specialty. We connect only ready to go project. Like if you have a project which is existing, you need expansion, we can get you an investor either on debt financing or equity funder. They will finance you as equity partner, and they will exit also if you want after 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. And also we have both kind of investors. Financial investors, they will just finance and hold the board meeting every quarterly, and they will not bother how you are running your business. The other one is strategic investors, those who are from the industry, like from an oil company. If Bielsa or River State or a government or a private company want an investor, we can connect with that investor particularly. And those who are in the business, who have the financial muscle, who has the finance, who has also the expertise, who has the knowledge, who are doing the business. So we have those three kind of investors: those who finance on as a loan finance, which is debt financing, And then these equity financing, we have two types of financing, which is financial investors and also strategic investors. Now, we need to understand what is your business plan, what you really want. Like Ms. Patience said that they want this. We know that this is what she wants. The ambassador of South Africa said that they want this. These are the projects, these are the sectors open. That is wide range of things. Now, to reduce it, to focus on particular project, we take one or two projects in particular, and we trigger that, and we bring the investors into that sector. Similarly, your project, what you have in your platter, you need to tell us that this is what we have, and this is what I need, this many millions of investment I'm looking for. And we need to look at your documents, we need to look at your projects, and we need to look at your capabilities, and we need to do a due diligence and bring the investors on board for you. This is how we work. You can be in touch with us. We will connect you towards the world. And for your information, by the way, that Business Summit, our platform, is existing in more than 150 countries. So anytime, any point of time, any moment, we can connect any of our partners anywhere in the world, including Nigeria. We have multiple partners that we can call up anytime that we have a project, we need assistance. Or for Nigeria, we can call up anyone in the world. So, or any country, for South Africa, or Lesotho, or Kenya, or Ethiopia, from anywhere. So we have our presence in excess of 150 countries at the moment, and we are still growing. We'll be covering the whole world, whole earth, in fact. Thank you.
Okay. Can I go on with the second question?
Please, quickly.
All right. So you talked about financial investors, and as you stated categorically what I need. So what we need now is financial investors that can come and partner with the company to see how we can move the visions that we have forward. That's what we need, financial investors.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. You better be in touch with us. Our team will be passing you on our email details. Kindly send an email with your business plan, if possible. Or if you are unable to send that, or you are not willing to send it, you better send a very brief summary of your project so that we understand, and then we can sign the NDA and get the access to the detailed data to analyze and see what we can help you with. Does it make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Sure, I can see we have a lot of hands raising, and unfortunately, we will need to be ending this. We do not want to be losing our crowd, as everyone have other engagements. We will quickly, there's two hands raised, so we will quickly answer your questions, and after this, we will be closing. I would like to say thank you to everyone who is still waiting here. Please bear with us. We are about to end. Okay, so in a very quickly manner, can I ask Neo Motiki to please ask a question?
Yeah, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. I'm from South Africa. I just want to find out, as you are looking for, as you have this platform to look for investors on our behalf as project owners, do you perhaps have any upfront fees that needs to be paid, or is there any kind of compensation that we should pay, maybe before the investor can come on board, or even after the investor has come on board? Thank you.
Well, the investment, anything in the world is not free. Everything has a cost. We are spending time here, it has a cost. You are spending time here, it has a cost. For sure, there is payments, but it all depends on what is the condition of your project, what is the documentation that you have in hand. If you have fewer documentations that are needed to reach out to the investors, you don't need to pay any money upfront. But if you don't have the documentations and you need the expert's help, then definitely there are certain costs that you will need to pay for in advance. And definitely there is a success fees, which is once you get the investment, then only you pay the success fees to the fundraiser or the investment bankers. I hope I could.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. We'll move to our last question, Mr. or Mrs. Debbie.
Yeah, okay. Good evening. I just don't want to take your time. However, I just want to say congratulations. However, because of time differences,
Think your network is not so good. Ms. Debbie, can you hear us? Okay, I think she's having some network issues, so we would move on and see. And I know there are a lot of people who have a lot of questions. I would kindly request, we have given our details on the chat. We just want to really show you that this platform, what we have created, has been bringing so much of results, and we can see the excitement here today. So, Dr. Haider, if you're okay with that, should we move on to the next agenda? We can go to the next part of our program.
Yes,
if
please.
Anyone
we have friends still raising hands, but I would humbly suggest them that they write it to us and write us an email or send us a WhatsApp message. Mr. Muhammad Mudassir, please bear with us. We are running out of time, so kindly feel free to reach us out and we will answer your question for sure. And for sure, we will get you the right answer. With this, Ms. Avi, please proceed to the next agenda.
Yes, sure, Dr. Haider. Also, a very kind request, please use our formal and official chats that we have, emails. Do not go through any other different ways, because we don't know who is creating which groups. I did see some groups on the platform. Obviously, please, I'm very, very humbly saying this because I cannot track everyone. So please use the official channel to reach out to us so we can help you. And going on, and this is very important to me, is that after this virtual summit, we all will move on to our next part of our lives. Like for me, I will be going down for dinner because it's late here. Some of you are joining from Europe, some of you from US. We all will move on to our next part of life. And here's one of the things that happen is that the momentum is lost. The zeal, the motivation, the want to be doing great things, it fades away. Some of us will lose the contacts. We are talking right now to someone on the chat, and as it closes the screen, somehow it's gone. The contact is lost. So this is the reason why we created a place to meet, an event where you meet someone face to face. The studies have proven and have shown that focus brings results. So imagine one room, and if you think there have been at least 120 people here, we've just been going through the statistics. Imagine 3 times the amount of this, where investors, global leaders, business tycoons, all are there in one room, in one ballroom. And the only thing we talk about is business. This has been 2 hours that we are here, and some of you are already probably hungry and has the next agenda, like I said, next part of your life. But imagine one whole day, or better, 2 days of just business talk, where you speak to everyone else, you lay aside all your other plans that you have, all your other things that you need to do, and you come and meet people that are like-minded, people who believe in success takes discipline. Success requires sacrifice. So this is the reason why we have made this event. For the very first time, we are doing an investor summit 2 times in 1 year. In fact, as we were still closing our first summit of the year in Lisbon, people were already asking us, you need to announce the next summit, and they've held us and said, no, tell us where is the next destination. So I am here. I want to invite you to come and be part of this next movement that we have created, this next movement where you can meet the person, the next business partner, the investor that you're looking for. Everything will be provided to facilitate you and your business growth. There are lawyers at your service to sign MOUs, NDAs, who have made rooms for you to go and have meetings. There will be coffee served, food served. There will be nothing for you to worry. All you will need to do is to be there and really bring your plans that you want to see come to pass. More importantly, everything can be done digitally nowadays. We have held this summit. In fact, it's less, I would say to a certain extent, it's less costly for us to hold a summit online than to come to Dubai. It costs us a lot of time to travel to Dubai up and down to meet certain stakeholders, hotels, this and that, just to hold this face-to-face. But we still do it for one reason, because nothing beats a firm handshake. Nothing beats a conversation with a cup of coffee. So I want to invite you all to Dubai. And unfortunately, we do not and cannot accept all businesses to present their projects, as we have certain criteria. We are very, very focused on results. And we currently already have some projects in place that are ready to present. So we have very few spaces that are left. And if you have a business, if you're looking for funding, and if you are a country leader and you want to bring funding to a certain sector in your country, or if you say, I want to come because I want to expand my business internationally, you are welcome to present your project in Dubai in November. We have carefully crafted this not only for business owners who want to present their projects, but also you say, I want to be there just as a participant to shake hands with other people that are looking forward for success. There are so many things. I cannot take too much of your time. I want to end because our time is over. And I will be talking more about this. We will be talking more about this. But if you're serious and you say you want to be presenting your project there, you want to connect with investors, you want to connect with other business partners, Investor Summit Dubai 2024 is the place to be. Any questions that you have, please feel free to email me. Please feel free to email any team members, and we will gladly help you and clear all questions that you have, because all that we want this year is clearly bring results to you. So that will be all for me. Dr. Haider, is there anything you want to add before we end?
Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind invitation for Dubai Summit, for sure. Only one point I want to say. The way we conduct business, we are in business. We are not in talks. We don't believe in political discussion or sort of general discussion. We are very focused on the business, investment, money, revenue, profitability. This is all things that we talk about. When you meet in Dubai, you will be meeting people that are serious, hardcore business people and investors. So if you have a project, or if you want to, interact with an investor, with the business owners, that's the place. Because we don't have big talks. We don't have speech to listen. No, we don't have any leaders. Even leaders comes, like today, as you have seen, we don't want to hear what is politically going on in South Africa, what is politically going on in Nigeria or Bielsa, who is the leader. We don't want to know. We just want to know what are the projects, what are the money, what are the dollar and cents available. That is what we want to talk about. So that's the specialty for us. And that is what we have been doing since 2017. And every year before we get out of the room, before our participants get out of the room, they get something in hand before they go home back. This is what our specialty is. And that's why we are still in the heart. That's why over 100 people joined today. And that's why people have a big expectation from us, and we cannot compromise on our quality for that reason, because you put your trust on us. So I'd like to also invite you to Dubai. I look forward to see you, having a lunch with you in Dubai very soon in November. Before that, our next webinar will be on the 10th of August. And this time, on 10th of August, we will be presenting a new area that is evolving in Europe, in East, I would say East and Central Europe, the Balkans, 11, 12 countries in Balkans, including Montenegro, Macedonia, Serbia, Bosnia, Kosovo, North Macedonia, and Bulgaria, Croatia, Slovenia, Greece. All these few countries, Bosnia, Herzegovina, these countries will be presenting. There are tremendous amount of opportunities coming up that we feel that you should know about these opportunities. There are business opportunities, there are investment opportunities, there are also opportunities that you can attract investors from this area. So there are three things that you can achieve from this webinar: is you can invest, you can get business, you can get investors also from these regions. So I look forward to see you on 10th of August, same time as we are maintaining for last many years. Thank you very much for joining and giving us the encouragement. I look forward to see you on the 10th of August and then again on 12th of November in Dubai in person over the lunch. Thank you. Take care. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
You're
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Haider and group. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Goodbye.
much.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
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 Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody. Dr. and the group. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Have
Bye.
a lovely
Thank you, brother. Message from Malaysia.
Thank you, Excellencies. Thank you, dignitaries. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you from Pepper Power Hub, Bangladesh.
Thank you very much.